Hello again, Gamepad Dad here with another Assassin's Creed video. Since we already did a Yasuke build, I figured it's only fair that we do one for Naoe as well. Bear in mind that she is not as powerful as Yasuke in hand-to-hand combat, and that you will not be able to one-shot enemies as you did with him, but you will still be able to take down large groups of enemies all at once, and even guardians for that matter. A big point to note here is that there are no premium items in this build, so basically everything that you need is free and you can obtain it fairly early into the game. Most of those items are not gonna require you to even enter any sort of combat at all. Another big point of interest here is that this is a bleed-centric build, so what you want to do essentially is jump from one enemy to another and apply bleed to as many of them as possible. So yeah, let's get on with it then. For our main weapon here, we are going to be using the Scarlet Fate in combination with the Egan Sunset. The Scarlet Fate is going to give us bleed build-up on every strike, while the Egan Sunset is going to trigger a time slow every time we do an escape strike. Now this is the important part of the build. You will want to do as many escape strikes as possible and thereby maintain that time slow as long as possible. So essentially what it boils down to is that you do an escape strike, then you do a leap strike, and then you do another escape strike. This combo will maintain that time slow basically forever, and while you are in it, you can do to your enemies whatever you please. Whether it's throwing a smoke bomb and assassinating them all at once, or running away if you feel overwhelmed at times, this combo is gonna act as a good enabler for those things. Important piece of mind here is that the escape strike time slow will trigger even if you don't hit anything, so if you need to do any of those things, just hit the air and get on with it. While it doesn't deliver as much damage as I would like to see from an Assassin's Creed protagonist, the time slow ability of it is broken beyond any reason whatsoever, and it will make easy work out of every enemy that you face in the game. Another important thing to note here is that both items can be acquired as soon as you finish the prologue with no combat whatsoever, since both of them are located in coffins. For my secondary weapon I went with the Bloodshade, since it does come with the ability to trigger bleed on deflect, and I paired it up with the perk from the Yamino Kage, which deals 100% damage once you deflect an attack from the enemy. To be honest, while testing this build I didn't end up using the secondary weapon whatsoever, since the main weapon combo is as broken as it is and I didn't see any gain in replacing it. One exception I would make is when fighting a boss, since this is a deflect based combo and it's much easier to deflect the attacks of one enemy than it is when there are 7 or 8 of them. However, if you really want to play with the katana, then this combo is gonna do the job for you. Both items can be obtained right at the start and they can carry you through the game as long as you want them to. For our chest piece, we are going to be using the non-masterstroke costume, since it allows us to spread affliction every time we kill an afflicted enemy, and that's especially useful when we are surrounded by multiple enemies at once. Again, this is an item that requires no combat whatsoever to get, since it's located in an unguarded chest in key, and while I am certain that there is a right path to this chest, honestly I forced and climbed my way to it, so be free to do the same if you like. As for the second engraving, you are free to use whatever you like or whatever you are missing, since there are not that many affliction-tied engravings when it comes to chest armor in the game. I myself went with the Master Assassin Gear perk because it does buff up my assassination ability, and I was lacking in that department, but since that one's pretty late in the game, you are free to use whatever you like. As for the headgear, this one's pretty straightforward as well, since we don't have many options to choose from in the first place. Just make sure to use whatever suits your playstyle the best and run with it. I myself went with the Apprentice Assassin hood and slapped a nice 20% damage with afflictions on it. I did initially plan to go with the Hood of the Dragon for this build, but since that item is tied to the Digital Deluxe edition of the game, it would defeat the purpose of this build being easy to acquire. However, if this item pops up at the enemy's exchange store, be sure to grab it because it's arguably the best hood in the game. As for trinkets, I went with Otakemaru's Battle Cry combined with Masakaro's Vengeance. Otakemaru's battle cry is gonna make it so that you gain 1% health per mastery point spent in Shinobi, and since Naoe is much more fragile than Yasuke, you will want to gain health wherever you can, especially since you are gonna be maxing out your Shinobi tree for combat purposes as it is. As for Masakaro's vengeance, it is there to make use of the mastery points that we don't spend. No matter what you do, no matter how you spend your mastery points, there is always gonna be quite a lot of them left over, and this trinket is gonna make sure that they are put to good use, since it gives you 1% damage per unspent mastery point, capping out at 200%. This trinket is gonna come especially handy if you don't want to level up your knowledge all the way up to level 8, since that does require quite a lot of time and investment. As for Masteries, I did initially plan a 3-minute talk about how to best spend and optimize your Masteries, but then I remembered how soul-sucking and mind-numbing it was for me while I was watching guides, and honestly, I didn't want to lose the few subscribers I have, so here's some footage of the Masteries. One thing I do want to underscore is that you do want to max out your Shinobi tree, as you are going to get large amounts of health from the trinket, and you do want to max out your assassin tree, since at the end of the day you are an assassin after all, and you are gonna be relying on assassinations for the majority of the game. Keep in mind that the gear itself is powerful enough as it is, so no matter how you end up spending your skills, you are going to have an easy time progressing through the game. That's it for this one, guys. If you have any ideas on how to improve this build, make sure to share your thoughts with us in the comment section. If you want to see an overpowered build for Yasuke, click on the video in the right corner. And if you have any trouble finding these items, I would recommend going to mapgenie.io, since they have precise location on every item in the game. I'll add the link in the description below the video. If you like what I'm doing here and if you want to help kickstart the channel, drop a thumbs up, hit that bell icon and subscribe.